Hi guys, Christy here with Just Saying. Let's make a card. Today's card is right here. It is kind of a fall colored card. I'm eventually going to make this card in a few different background colors. I'm using I'm being asked if I can say that my assistant is here with me.
Hello!
That's Ariana. I'm using the Stampin' Up! Sprinkles of Life stamp set. This, I believe, was last year's Ronald McDonald House stamp, which proceeds from this stamp went to Ronald McDonald House. Loved the stamp and the options that are available in it, so I bought it along with the punch that cuts out the various small little pieces. Just trying to show you. There you go.
Like the clouds, leaves, trees, apples, some leaves, the flower, and the bird.
And the trunk. Okay, so I have actually cased this card. Casing is an acronym for copy and share everything. I'm casing this card from Alison Barclay of gothdovedesigns.blogspot.ca. I have her on my Pinterest. So we're going to start off with a bunch of inks. I'll get there in a second. Because this card is new to me, I needed to map out dimensions of everything. So that's this over here. I do this for some of my cards where I pre-plan it on the front. I actually stamp the images. I don't normally do that. I stamp the images just to give me a spatial awareness. And then on the back side, I put my measurements. And that's for future reference. And that just gets stored. Okay, so inks today. Are you ready? There are a lot. You can't see how big this stack is. Let me see if I can do this without dropping them. I am using a lot. Crumb Cake, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Cherry Cobbler, Crushed Curry, Perfect Plum, and Old Olive. Because I'd like you to try to just watch this time. Okay, getting started with my card. I've got a Cherry Cobbler base. I'll get to that in just a second. And while I was prepping for my card, I accidentally cut this piece here in very vanilla. No, sorry, Whisper White. When I was assembling it, I thought, oh shoot, what am I going to do? I wanted that one to be in a darker color. Hence, the Crumb Cake. So I'm going to take a scrap of paper, my pre-cut size. This is going to be the wood grain image, and it is 1.5 by 4 3/4. And to make it crumb cake, this is a technique you can do, is just take your ink pad and drag it across the cardstock.
Neat.
And kind of fill in the blanks. Now what it does is it does leave some overlap, and I'm okay with that. It just adds to some of the texture that's on it. I'm going to now, oops.
And maybe some detail in the edge of the wood.
Yes, it gives some detail. I'm going to use my wood grain stamp, large mat with Early Espresso, and ink this one up. And then just lay this on top.
Wherever you want.
Wherever you want to get the grain. Forgot to get this mat. And then just rub to get a good even impression of the ink. And there we go. There's my wood grain on Crumb Cake with Early Espresso. I'm going to set that aside to dry for a little bit. Next, I'm going to get my tree, the base layer card, and using my scrap again, what I did in starting this one up, using my template, I kind of put this layer along with this. You can see this space here is actually that. So in the same line, I'm going to take the tree, again with Curly Espresso, ink up just the tree, and in approximately the same space, straight down, straight up.
Okay.
I'm being asked how I made the little flowers. I made the little flowers with the little flowers.
But how did you make the stems?
How did I make the stems with the little stems? It's all in this set. So the stems are here, stems with grass, which is going to be in Old Olive.
I don't see it.
The little flower is right here. You don't see it, that's fine, it's there. There's the grass.
Oh.
There's the flower. Okay? Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the piece of grass, if you can get that ready for me. Using Old Olive. Thank you. Ink this up. I'm going to line up the bottom of the flowers with approximately the bottom of the tree trunk. Take that one off. If you can put the flower on for me.
Yep.
Oh, here. The flowers are going to be in Perfect Plum. I'm using these colors, except for the Old Olive. I'm using the colors out of Stampin' Up's Regals collection, and that just is so that the colors work together with the right tones. So because this is photopolymer, I can line up my flower image with the stems. I was thinking last night when I made this card, this reminds me of the flower my mom first taught me how to draw, which is loop-de-loop-de-loop.
Yeah, but that's just like how I used to do it.
Just because I showed you what Grandma showed me. Oh, imagine. Alright, you put that one away.
I'm guessing they're going to have to be cleaned after?
Yeah, we'll clean them later. Okay, so moving on to my next layer of this is going to be little pieces of, the little pieces, this one up there. Little pieces of, they're actually just lines and dashes. Can you see? I don't know if that will show up really well.
It looks like sprinkles.
They're sprinkles. These work for sprinkles on cupcakes. They work for, I don't know, let's just see here, triple stamping that and see if we can get some fallen leaves.
Ooh.
And I'm stamping away.
Or you could choose the leaves if you would like.
I'm just getting different levels of yellow color in shades. More dark over there. You can clean that or put that one away. And if you notice on my flowers, it may not pick up. I'm using, and I'll use it again here for the bird, which I'll need next.
Thank you.
I'm going to color in my flowers. Now, I did this way after finishing the card last night, and you can by using a Stampin' Up blender tool, blender pen, you can take the color from somewhere and blend it to the rest. So I'm kind of giving a watercolored look to my flowers. I'm going to do the same with the bird so that it's not just an outline.
And it makes it look very, very pretty.
It does. That one's going to be set aside for a sec.
Now I believe you're going to have to get a cutout.
No, I need my bird first. Stampin' Up Cherry Cobbler. I'm going to use a strip of paper.
You're going to need a bird.
Yes, I will need a bird. Need to stamp my bird. Just going to stamp.
That was me opening the punch.
Using my blender tool to make sure it's clean, take the red from what I've just stamped and fill in my bird's color. Stamp, punch. I'm just going to line up just the bird. This was a little hard to figure out where the beak goes, where the body goes. And make sure I've got an even spacing around it. Good. Punch. Keep that for later. Now, where did it go? I bought these little containers from the dollar store, 2 or 3 in a pack. That is what keeps my little bird safe. I've also punched out some extra little leaf, branch, bush.
You can call them clouds.
Clouds, cupcake toppers.
You can use them for anything you like.
This piece here. Yes. Okay. So
Clouds.
moving on, I'm going to create the tree leaves. And on this card you see that there's some different colors, but this is one stamp. That's just a pile of leaves. So what I've watched and come up with, I need my cherry cobbler,
And I believe your crushed curry.
and my crushed curry.
I got it right.
And I actually did use Cajun Craze, that's why this one's out. So with your stamp, always start with the lightest. And I did this last night, I made this card last night, so last night I used this corner. So this corner is not a true crushed curry, it's got some of the Cajun Craze and some of the Cherry Cobbler, because I didn't clean my stamp in between. So I'm just going to ink up with my crushed curry and then roll or tap on some of the Cajun Craze and then just touch it in the corners, touch it with the Cherry Cobbler and then stamp. Different layers of ink. Again, crushed curry, Cherry Cobbler, nope, that was crushed curry, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler. Could I have picked any more C's? Holy dude. Alright, tapping, stamping, different again. Crushed curry, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, and third one. Completely different on all of them.
Neat.
Neat. Always starting with the lightest and going to the darkest.
Two ends up kind of similar.
They do look kind of similar, but they're different. Alright, using the punch, lining it up.
You may use it for a lovely. You can use the cloud stamp for a cake topper or some clouds, the flowers for a bush, and or a nice tree top. Or you can use the leaves for a bush or a nice tree top.
Yes. Okay, there's my 3 tree leaves. And I think, oh, wait, we've got the sentiment to go. So I'm going to use the same scrap of paper. This is just a 1/2 inch wide for my sentiment. I can use it there, thank you. And I did Cajun Craze with this one because looking at this card afterwards, I thought, Christy, you're pretty bold with your color combination. I've got red and orange and purple and green and yellow. My reasoning behind it afterwards is that these are from the same family, but I've been able to tie my Cherry Cobbler with my designer series paper. My wood grain ink here is the same as my tree trunk, which we'll just color in here. You can see that I haven't stamped this image recently, and I can still blend the colors in. So the tree trunk is brown.
Neat.
Neat. Okay, so to tie in my Cherry Cobbler, Cherry Cobbler, again, Cajun Craze, not just in the leaves, but also in the sentiment here. So using my 1/2 inch scrap, ink that up, and straight down, straight up. And then to get my tags on the end, I'm going to do my trick of sticking this through the now retired banner punch. That might be a bit long to do. That'll work.
What do you mean as in retired?
They no longer offer this punch. So you can't buy it new.
Well, that's not fun.
Well, I know.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing's wrong with it. They just decided they didn't want this shape anymore.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have it, so there you go. Okay, so there's that bit. I've also used I believe this one is the label punch. I've used the label punch and some early Espresso cardstock. And you can see that this is a scrap. I cut out this bit here, and I've used it as a layering piece, just half of it. So I've got the other half still to go. I just took my paper snips and went from point to point, cutting it in half. And that will layer behind. Now I did not plan this. It will layer behind the sentiment. Okay, let's get to the assembling. Ready? Can you look up which block?
A.
I don't have an A block.
Oh.
I have a B, C, D.
Is that all the blocks?
No, there's an A. That's temporary. I don't want temporary.
Do you want me to get mine?
Nope, I got it.
Okay.
Just grab the wrong one.
Now I know that there's a blue one, pink, and then green one.
Yeah, the blue and pink are permanent. Okay, using snail adhesive, Cherry Cobbler.
Oh, you mean green and pink?
No, blue and pink are permanent.
Oh,
Layer.
you mean like the pink part of mine is the permanent?
Yes.
Oh, so only the clear tops are not permanent.
Focal image and the, let's see if I get it right this time. Cajun Craze layer.
Finally.
Yes. Where's my, I'm just going to give dimensions. So the designer series paper, the polka dots, size is 5 1/4 by 4. The orange layer here, I've labeled this as small matte on my template, and it is 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. And the white cardstock, this side, much more. The white cardstock is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4, and that's not long enough, is it? How is that not long enough? It's not long enough.
Mommy.
Mommy, look at,
You grabbed the shortest one.
I did. Is that the right size? Look at that.
Yes, it is.
Alright.
It's longer.
It's kind of longer. I'm getting attitude from an 8-year-old. Alright, let's do this again.
I thought you wanted to do the little one, so I didn't tell you.
No, whatever.
I'll get it.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Crumb cake. Make my very vanilla. Christy, you need to learn your colors. Making my whisper white. Yes, my helper. Isn't she such a help?
I got it out.
You did. Okay. Using my crumb cake, taking my, what color is this? Whisper white. Inking it up.
And crumb cake.
Yeah.
There's
And
some
crumb
more.
cake. Yeah, okay, my turn. Wood grain stamp. No, I want early espresso. Early espresso.
Wait, I'm gonna try and open this.
Did I put it away? Where's my? Oh, it's under the step. There is a lady on YouTube that I watch. Her name is Dina Rico, and she has the Creativity Cave. I highly suggest searching for her. I agree with her, and I'll mention this. Her brain stops working when the camera turns on. Mine also. All right.
Oh, you mean that girl that made the bottle?
Not sure. Get the ink on the cardstock. Perfect. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
I did it!
You did it. You opened it.
Yay!
Okay. Just gonna get off the extra bit of ink that's on there that's not drying quick enough for me. Okay, and I'm gonna stick this
Closed it.
right about there. The cardstock is folded.
That's not good.
And nail adhesive on my white matches with the rest of this. Line this one up. Polka dots, stripes, any sort of paper that is patterned is so frustrating. If you're slightly off in your cutting and then you try to line up a straight piece with a crooked pattern,
It's
the
very
whole
hard.
the whole thing looks like it's off. All right, I'm gonna start with my little bird today. I forgot that I needed to put a bird on here yesterday, so when I was putting on my branch pieces, I didn't leave room for my bird. Okay, using a mini glue dot.
Mini glue dot, look where fun. We're here. Would it be in glue dots?
Should be in glue dots, but it's not in glue dots because I left it out because I need it for the video. That's not my mini glue dots. Where's my mini glue dots? They're mini, they're glue dots, and they're gone.
Mini glue dots?
Those aren't mini glue dots.
Okay, then.
Alright, I'm gonna use my bigger dots.
Why do you have no glue?
Okay, I'm gonna use my thumbnail and just roll this glue dot. I would have had to roll the mini glue dot. Roll it. Stick it on the back of the bird.
Oh, I didn't know you had
There we
first
go.
aid.
Yeah, my first aid in there is
Band-aids.
Band-Aids.
That's one good thing to have for first aid.
It's one good thing, yes. The reason why is because if I cut anything, I need a Band-Aid so I don't bleed on a card.
Yeah, good point.
Good point. Okay, dimensionals.
Dimensionals. I like dimensionals.
Yes, I know you do. I'm flipping them all over, and each one is going to get 3 on the back, just in the corners, except for the one that's going to be on top. So I'm going to add that in just a second. Because I'm layering this, one of them may be on a dimensional and one part not on a dimensional. So then it is off its dimension. So I'm just going to play with my placement, leaving room for my bird, lining up the branches with the branches.
Uh-oh.
See? Right? So that's because this upper is on this one's dimensional, and then there's a gap there. That one works just fine there.
Looks okay on that one.
It does, because I have an extra dimensional on one of those. So the bottom 2 in this one need the extra dimensional, I think. Let's see if it works out
Oh,
that
you
way.
mean in the middle?
Nope. I need to layer dimensional on a dimensional.
Whoa, that's weird.
Not really. If you've got two blocks, on one side, you need 2 blocks on the other side when you're building something, right? That's the same thing that I'm doing here.
Oh.
Stacking them so they're all the same height. Alright,
Oh.
removing the backing. Leave that one aside. I didn't stick my thumbs in these ones. These little dimensional back covers end up everywhere. A couple of days ago I found one in my sheets.
Ugh.
I know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's amazing. Alright, that one goes there. This one will be flat. How does that one work out with that? Oh, right.
Oh, that's falling off. A band-aid fell off.
Yes, spider bites, band-aids. And
Not on my leg.
And oops.
Sounds like something went wrong.
I just put it in the wrong spot. Okay, so there's my card with my dimensionals and layers of card. I need my sentiment. Going to snail the back. Line up my edges. And more dimensionals.
Dimensionals. Whee!
And placing my sentiment over here, hanging off the side a bit. And my bows. Pretty done. Little piece of twine, bow, and sticking that right here. Nope, not right there. There's my sentiment. Right there. Perfect. Inside of this card, because it's Cherry Cobbler, will get a layer of very vanilla, or you know, the coordinating whisper white on the inside to allow for the greeting and the message. This is the card for today. This will be one of the last ones that I show that is not a Christmas video. There are 15 approximately weeks to Christmas, or sorry, 2 weeks before Christmas. So 17 Mondays before Christmas is what I've counted. So what I'm going to do is start with my Christmas stamps and Pinterest saved items, and I'm going to do a weekly Christmas card video, and I'll be doing 15 weeks of, well, I guess 14 weeks of Christmas starting next week. So I look forward to seeing you then and your feedback in this video. Thank you and have a great day.
Bye.